apartheid passed, Bishop Tutu, late Bishop Tutu, an honest man, very honest man, well respected in South Africa, said after his visit to Palestine that apartheid, South Africa, was like a playground. Apartheid, Zionism, is indeed cruel and murderous. And as I speak, last night there was an attack on Gaza. 4 children were killed, 4 women were killed, and some men. A dentist who was serving the community free of charge in Gaza, his wife and his 21-year-old son were murdered the Zionists. So we have to put this in context. And our sister here is traveling the length and breadth of South Africa, highlighting the plight of the Palestinian people. And we as Muslims cannot rest until there is liberation. And you are the soldiers of Islam, inshallah. That is why we are sitting here and talking to you. And after our sister addresses you, please feel free to ask any question that is relevant and regards Masjid Al-Aqsa and the occupation of Al-Quds and the larger Palestine. Now let me just go to the Quran. Everything starts with Quran for us. We are believers, and Allah instructs us in Surah it's quite uncomfortable here, I must tell you. Bani Israel, the first verse, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Glory to Allah, who did take his servant." Who was his servant? Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You remember that? Okay. The Miraj, okay. For a journey by night from the sacred masjid, the sacred masjid, Makkah, the Kaaba, okay, to the father's masjid, the first Qibla, Masjid Al-Aqsa. Allah took Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Burak was a conveyor from Masjid Al-Haram to Masjid Al-Aqsa. And what does Allah say about this place? Whose precincts, that means Al-Aqsa and its precincts, Allah did bless. Now that is a sign for us that this place, Al-Aqsa, as a Muslim, and as a human being, because we're fighting for human rights, we cannot lay off. We need to make life uncomfortable in whichever way possible for the occupying Zionist regime. Let me not take up too much of your time. I'd like to call Sister Arbi to address you. Jazakallah. Muhammad, can you come up here, please?
Assalamu alaikum. It's very sorry to say that while we are speaking now, there is a huge bombing that is happening in Gaza in this moment. And there is people are killing now in this exactly moment in Gaza. It's harder to say that today there was more than 4 demolition buildings inside Al-Aqsa, inside the old city and around it in Jerusalem. Then they destroy in Silwan 2 stores, and also they destroy in the Mukaber area in Jerusalem 2 buildings. So 2 new family in Jerusalem are homeless because of the Israeli regime. It's very hard to see the things that's happening there all the time and in continuous. We are in the time of memory of the apartheid, and when it starts in Palestine with the Nakba. The Nakba is a continuous, did not stop in 1948. The killing for Palestinians did not stop in 1948. It's a continuous thing that is happening till today. So it's very hard to start our speaking today with this news that is happening. First, to introduce myself, I'm Abir Zayad, I'm an archaeologist that I grew up in Al-Aqsa Mosque and also I'm working in Al-Aqsa Mosque. I'm from the old city of Jerusalem. And I'm so proud that I grew up inside the mosque and that we consider, like the rest of Jerusalemite people, that we consider ourselves, that we are the soldiers of Al-Aqsa Mosque, that we are the one that was chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take this responsibility of being the first line to protect Al-Aqsa Mosque. Al-Aqsa Mosque is the second mosque that was putting for a human being by our belief as a Muslim. We believe as a Muslim that the first mosque was Mecca, and after 40 years that Masjid al-Aqsa was putting for Muslims. Of course, there is, the Mufassirin have two opinions about who built it first. Some of the Mufassirin say Malaika, some of the Mufassirin say Adam alayhi salam. Anyway, it will stay the second mosque that was putting for a human being in the whole world. And Masjid al-Aqsa is our first Qibla, and the third mosque that we was ordered to visit by the word Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. Masjid al-Aqsa is the land of al-Isra wal-Mi'raj and part of the land of al-Mahshar wal-Manshar. So Al-Aqsa Mosque is part from our Aqidah as a Muslim. It's not just a place, it's not just a land. It's part from our identity as a Muslim. Each one of you own part from this mosque. Each one of you own almost 1 millimeter from that mosque. So it's your responsibility also to take care of your 1 millimeter inside that mosque. It's belong for each one of you as it's belong for us. We accept that our duty is to be the first line, but you're also supposed to know that Al-Aqsa Mosque is also your responsibility as a Muslim, and it's also part of your Aqidah. You can't be a Muslim without believing in the first Qibla. You can't be Muslim without believing about Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj. So, as much as you go to Mecca and Medina, come to Al-Aqsa Mosque and does not forget it. I will try my best today to answer your question about Al-Aqsa Mosque, about Palestine, about the apartheid that we are living in, the Nakba that we are living in, the continuous Nakba that we are living in. I will try my best to answer you from archaeological point of view and also from a person that he grew up and lived inside Palestine, inside Jerusalem all my life. I don't want to speak a lot. I would like to have questions, so it will be more effective to answer the question that you have in mind and to give you more information. I do not want to repeat the basic information that maybe you are already knowing. So I will try my best to answer your own question, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan for listening.
Okay, guys, I'm throwing the floor open now. Any questions? Lift your hand up. Okay. You will keep this up. Come. Let's see the future leaders now. We need to ask questions about Masjid al-Aqsa. Who? Come. Let's give them a mic.
Could you?
Make it loud, Mohammed.
In Ramadan, could you make i'tikaf in Al-Aqsa?
Yes, in Ramadan we do i'tikaf. The i'tikaf that we do it inside Al-Aqsa Mosque, especially for men, it's happening in area we call it Marwani, okay, which is far from Al-Aqsa Mosque. So it will be full with Muslims, and a lot of people from South Africa, they came each year to Al-Aqsa Mosque and they make i'tikaf. And I hope that next Ramadan, you as a school, you can come and you can make i'tikaf inside Al-Aqsa Mosque, inshallah.
Just to inform you, Sister Aisha sitting over there has just returned from Masjid al-Aqsa. She was in Al-Quds for 2 weeks, Aisha? For 12 days. And somebody else, I think, told me now. Farhana? Where she also was in Masjid al-Aqsa. So we are encouraged We are encouraged. In fact, when you go home, if your parents want to go for a holiday to Turkey, say, let's go to Masjid Al-Aqsa. Okay? Please.
The Turkey, the prayer is one prayer. The Al-Aqsa Mosque is 500 rows.
So who doesn't want? Look at the odds. 500 times. Alhamdulillah. You got a question as well. Please go ahead.
Are the Jews doing excavation work underneath Al-Aqsa Mosque?
Since the British occupation, they start digging underneath of Al-Aqsa Mosque. And they are continuous of digging underneath of Al-Aqsa Mosque till today. So this digging that is happening, their mainly goal is to try to find any archaeological evidence that they was there before 3,000 years. But till now, they does not succeed. But also, these excavations that are going underneath of Al-Aqsa Mosque and these tunnels is making the Al-Aqsa Mosque foundation weak. So with any earthquake, the mosque could be collapsed. And also, most of the Muslim quarter, it could be collapsed with this excavation that they do it. So the main thing that they are doing is try to find something for them, but they are not able to do. But also they use it against the destruction of the mosque and Muslim culture.
Okay, what about the girls, the ladies? Come on. Any questions? You'll get a turn now, right? Okay. All right, I'll hold it.
Why do they want to bomb the Masjid Al-Aqsa?
Why do they want to destroy it?
Yes.
The Zionists, their whole occupation is dependent on a myth that they started, that they was there before 3,000 years, and then they want to go back to their homeland. And this myth is connected also with the story that there was a temple there in the place of Al-Aqsa. So to continue and to justify their occupation, they want to take Al-Aqsa Mosque and to build instead a temple in the place of Al-Aqsa Mosque. As you see in the plan, which is the photo here, their goal is to demolish the whole Aqsa, but now they make it stage by stage. So now they have small plans how to take a share there, and at the end to demolish the whole place. So it's a political thing, but they put it in a frame of religion to justify their apartheid and their occupation.
Salam.
Introduces.
Salam. My name is. Yeah. Who has complete control? My name is Yusuf Ayab. But who has complete control over Al-Aqsa? Is it Palestinians or the Jews?
He wants to know who has complete control over Al-Aqsa.
First of all, Yusuf Ayub, do you know that you have the name of Salahuddin?
Salahuddin, who liberated.
Salahuddin name is a Yusuf Ayub.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Now
So you are Salahuddin, inshallah. So, there is no one you can say a full control. The Al-Aqsa Mosque is supposed to be under the Jordanian control, not Palestinian, Jordanian custody. But what they're doing, that Israeli all the time, the Zionists involved in that and putting pressure on Jordan, putting pressure on the border inside the Al-Aqsa Mosque. So Al-Aqsa Mosque is still under our control as a Palestinian working with the Jordanian government. But even that, Israel are putting a lot of pressure and a lot of changes to change the situation of Al-Aqsa and to control it instead of us.
No.
So we're still fighting for that.
Okay, you got a question?
Yeah.
Introduce yourself, right?
My name is Hamad Ahmed.
Welcome.
Now my question is, do you know where's the spot where the Burak was tied up?
Yes. We have a very, maybe we can, I just will point for you.
So is it off? Okay.
You see, in Al-Aqsa Mosque here, we have this wall, which we call it Al-Burak wall. Okay? In this wall, here, we believe that our Prophet ﷺ, he tied Al-Burak in this wall. Okay? So this wall is called Al-Burak wall. So we believe our Prophet tied the Buraq here, and from here he entered to Al-Aqsa Mosque, and he go up here, and from here go to sky.
Let's just fix your lapel. Say it's off. Okay, you have a question as well? Introduce yourself.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Yahya Patan. So, how long has the war been between Palestine and the Israelis?
The war, or let's say, trying to occupy us, it started from the time of the British, around 1917. When the British occupied us, they decided to take our land by force and to give it to Zionist movement. So there was no much Jew living in Palestine. So they started bringing them from Europe and give them weapons and attacking us and killing us to prepare the land to be occupied by them. So in 1948, they attacked us and they killed a lot of us in the villages and in the city. And they started the occupation in that year, in 1948, and they established Israel on top of our demolishing homes and demolishing lands and on top of our bodies.
Okay. We just want to fix the mic up, sister. Can you just come and adjust the mic if necessary? Girls, come on. Some questions? 1 minute. Huh? We'll have a Jamaat. We'll have a second Jamaat. Tell her. Tell her. Sheikh, is it okay if we have a second Jamaat? 5 minutes. 5 minutes we need to. Okay. Right. Question from the ladies.
How long?
Introduce yourself.
My name is Zahra Nur Mohammed. How big is Masjid Al-Aqsa?
The Masjid Al-Aqsa is 144 dunum. I don't know how much is the dunum in...
Any idea, Sheikh?
144 dunum. Hectare.
Is it hectare or acre?
I think it's hectare.
Hectare.
Dunum is almost
So it's quite massive. It's quite big.
It's a big building,
Yeah.
it's a big area, and
Yeah.
inside Al-Aqsa Mosque we have 300 buildings.
300.
Yes.
So it's quite big. Yeah, okay. Introduce yourself.
Assalamu alaikum, I'm Hamza. Who is in charge of cleaning the mosque?
You want to clean the mosque? Oh, okay.
We have people that are working inside the mosque, we call them Sadana. These people, their responsibility, they are Palestinian from Jerusalem, and they are employed by Jordan. These people, their responsibility is to take care of the cleaning of Al-Aqsa Mosque 24 hours.
How many people can be inside of Masjid Al-Aqsa at once?
We believe that in Laylat al-Qadr, more than around 400,000 persons pray at once inside the mosque.
I think that's 10 times the population of Erasmia.
It's the same population of all Jerusalem that we fit inside the masjid.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Zidan Mohammed, and I would like to know, where was the first azan given?
Where was the first azan given? Azan.
Inside Jerusalem, you mean, when Umar ibn Khattab arrived? The first adhan in Jerusalem, when Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu came, it was inside the Al-Aqsa Mosque, especially where the area of the Muqarrab. And the person who made the adhan, the first adhan in Jerusalem, it was Bilal ibn Rabah radiallahu anhu.
Oh, there's a lot of ladies. You just have to wait. You don't mind ladies first. You know about that, right? Ladies. Okay, come, girls, come. Chef, you guys just have to bear with us. Khadija. There's a lot of questions posed by your. Imagine this is your 30-minute class. Okay. Introduce yourself.
My name is actually Yusuf. When was the masjid built?
When was the masjid built? Masjid Al-Aqsa?
As I said, from Islamic point of view, we believe that the Masjid Al-Aqsa was built 40 years after Al-Kaaba. When exactly, we does not know. Whom, we does not know. The Mufassirin say it could be the Malaika, other Mufassirin say it could be Adam alayhi salam. So it's 40 years after Al-Kaaba. But if you are asking about the buildings that we have it today, which is the oldest archaeological evidence that we have, it's going back to Roman time, 30 BC.
It was the Roman times. Right? You got that. It's well before your time. Okay.
How old was the Buddha?
How old was the Buddha?
I don't know, it was not mentioned in the hadith. Some things was not mentioned in the hadith, so we believe it without asking a lot of questions. So we believe in al-Buraq. A lot of people give description for Buraq, but in fact, it's not mentioned in the hadith.
Buraq is from Jannah.
Yeah, so we does not know.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Simple Hassan Zahim. I just wanted to say, can you as an archaeologist tell me what conservation methods are being used to preserve Masjid Al-Aqsa?
I think an excellent question.
It depends on which part and the material that we have. So, for example, we have inside the Dome of the Rock mosaic. So we have people that are working in mosaic all the time, trying to fix anything is damaged in the mosaic in daily basis. We have, for example, destruction that it's happened because of the tunnels that they are digging inside the underneath of the mosque. So these are different workers. They are working in fixing the walls. Of course, each part from the mosque, when you want to maintaining, is depend in which historical time it was built and use the same material that it was used in that historical time. Also, we have a lot of manuscripts that also each kind of manuscripts, there is a method for it. So it's a very, very huge and long process. And we have a big team inside Al-Aqsa Mosque just for renovating Al-Aqsa all the time.
Okay, girls, one more girl before I ask the boys. Hey, come. Come. Waiting for an invite. Come. Do you have any questions? Please come. Don't be shy.
I think my question was just answered, but with all the horrible things happening, how is Masjid Al-Aqsa still standing?
With all the horrible things happening with the Zionist activity, how is Masjid Al-Aqsa still standing?
First of all, alhamdulillah, that is still standing. But most of the damages that has happened to Al-Aqsa Mosque or to the building inside the Al-Aqsa Mosque has happened because of earthquakes. So the occupation, when they occupied us since 1967 in Al-Aqsa Mosque, they tried to make a lot of damages. So, for example, in 1969, they put a fire inside one of the main buildings, Al-Qibli, inside Al-Aqsa Mosque. So all the time they are making damages, but we as a Palestinian, under the control of Jordan, and we all the time renovating for the place. So we never left the place, and we does not also let the place to be damaged by them. So for example, once they tried to enter with a bomb to Al-Aqsa Mosque from one of the wells, and one of our guards noticed that, so he started sealing that place, but they shoot him, but he did not care. So he continued sealing the place till he closed it, and after that he asked for help. Our people mentality that the priority is not your life, the priority is the mosque. So this is what it takes us to protect the place, and this is how we managed to today, inshallah, and to in the future to be able to protect the Al-Aqsa Mosque and not to leave it for the Zionists.
Come, you've been waiting long enough.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mikael Umar, and I would like to know how many children have passed away during the war.
In fact, we do not know how many persons from us was killed during the war, especially in the Nakba. There is in the Nakba, they killed a lot of people without anyone know about them. The rest of the people, they run away, so we does not know which one was killed and which one was alive. And a lot of villages was killed, the complete people from them, so no one mentioned them or speak about them. And each few years we discover a new tombs, and we find how many people was killed without no one know about them. The Israeli have done a huge massacres in almost every village in the Nakba, and the continuous of killing is in daily basis. So we can't count them sometime, because each year, each day, in fact, not each year, each day we have a new martyrs. Just yesterday we have more than 13 martyrs. Today we do not know yet how many martyrs we have. They are still bombing our homes, our places, our cities, so we does not know the number of us that had been killed. But at the end, again, our goal is to have a freedom. Our goal is to protect Al-Aqsa Mosque. So, and any one of us is killed, he will be in Jannah. Like when Ma'arakat Uhud happened, what the saying was? قَتْلَانَا بِالْجَنَّةِ وَقَتْلَاهُمْ فِي النَّارِ. So what we wait is that the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that our martyrs will be in heaven, inshallah.
Ameen, Ameen. Be rest assured that the child killers, the Zionist child killers, child murderers have killed thousands and thousands. Just yesterday, 4 children were killed in Gaza. So it's a continuous thing, and they are unashamed, holds them accountable. But we need to do that. We need to remind the world that there is a genocide being perpetrated in occupied Palestine. That's a good question. You can go and sit down. Come, is the head prefect? Prefect. Introduce yourself.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Hania Azim. I would like to know, did you find any important Islamic artifacts in Masjid Al-Aqsa?
Yes, in fact, we have a lot of an Islamic artifact, not only just the buildings. We're speaking about nice small artifacts. Like, for example, we have a coin in the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which have the photos or a drawing for one of the great Khalifa, his Abdul Malik bin Marwan, on one of the coin. We have another coin which we have the face of Salah ad-Din is on the coin. So we have a lot of beautiful artifacts. Also, we have one of the mushaf that was written by the hand of Al-Hasan ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib. So we have a lot of great things that we have it inside the mosque. Alhamdulillah. This is just the small things that we have, without speaking about the buildings, about the inscription that we have it all over Al-Aqsa Mosque.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Zafar Kala. And I would like to know, Israelis are a part of the United Nations. How is that the United Nations have ignored the human rights violation that has been perpetrated upon our Muslim brothers for so many years? They have helped take the war in Ukraine, they've helped them from weaponry to rations, but they haven't given a single bullet to Palestine.
The United Nations was created by Europe, mainly. And Europe are the one who create this occupation. And the main leader for UN is USA. And USA are the main supports for Israeli, for Zionists. And the Zionists also controlled a lot of things inside America itself. So we are not expecting from them to be justice. And we know that they have double standard, and what is happening now in Ukraine, and how they deal with it, how they act with it, how it's okay for Ukrainian to fight, and all the things that European country and America is doing to support Ukrainian. It just tells you that it's a double standard, and that does not care. They are occupation supported by these colonialism country.
You must know the League of Nations was a forerunner to the United Nations, and they endorsed the creation of the State of Israel. Totally illegal, because it belongs to the Palestinians, and eradicated Palestine and created Israel. And we know the double standards and the hypocrisy of the West. It's quite evident. Come, girls.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Isra Khan. How did the war start? Between
the war starts with the declaration of Belfort giving a land without people to people without land. The British, they think that they are more important and that they can take our land and give it to people and to create a new country on top of our land. So Balfour, which is one of the British leader, he said that our land is without people and this is a big lie. And he wanted to give it to people without land, and this is another lie, because at the end, Jewish is a religion, is not an ethnic or nationality. So they create this Zionist movement and they start making these people immigrate from all their country, from Europe, from Morocco, from Egypt, from all the country that the Judaism was there, and they try to give them our land by force. So they start killing us, starting attacking us, destroying our works, and to at the end to be able to establish this new colonialism country, which is Israel. So the war is not start in 1948, it started much, much before with the idea of colonialism that the British have.
To simplify it, imagine your mommy and daddy work so hard, they build a beautiful home, and you're living comfortably in there, eating curry khichdi every day, and suddenly a Zionist Jew comes and say, get out, this is my house. What proof do you have? Say, God said I must take this house. This is what they've done. Okay? Come.
Salam. I just wanted to know, for the local Palestinians, are they allowed in Masjid Al-Aqsa? Is there an age limit?
The local Palestinian is so difficult because Israel, since they occupied us, they make us different sections. So each group from us, you remember in the apartheid system in South Africa, they make the Indian people live alone, the black people live alone, and they give different law for these, different laws for these. Exactly, Israel are doing the same. So what they do, they separated us for 4 sections. One section is the Palestinians who stay alive in the land of 1948, and these one have Israel passport. And Gaza is a different section that they have a Palestinian passport now, but they was under the control of Egypt for a long time. And these people from Gaza are not allowed to enter to Jerusalem at all unless if they are very, very sick and have a specific permission to go to hospital. The third category is the people in the West Bank, and the people in the West Bank was under the control of Jordan, and these people also have a Palestinian passport and it's not allowed for them to enter to Jerusalem without specific permission. The fourth section is the Jerusalemite, and Jerusalemite does not have a Palestinian passport or Israeli passport. We have just a travel document, and Israel say that we enter to Israel. We are most of the time allowed to enter to the mosque, but not always. So we are the only one that have the permission all the time to enter to inside Al-Aqsa Mosque. This is why we are the first line to protect the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and this is why it's our duty to protect the mosque.
You do history at school? You do history at school? You remember you do apartheid as one of the topics? The black people had a pass. It's a similar thing to what the Palestinians got, the travel document, to go into certain areas. If you don't have that, you can't. At times, they don't allow people that are under 25 or 30.
Sometimes they say this day, all women are not allowed. Yeah. Sometimes they say all men under 40 does not allow. Sometimes they say men under 50 are not allowed. It depends on what they want in that day. So there is nothing, it's fixed.
Okay, come. These are the last 3, right? I see the principal is getting a bit edgy. Where is he?
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ziyalena Khan. And I would like to know if the dome of Al-Aqsa is made of real gold.
Is the dome of Al-Aqsa made of real gold?
Yes, have a percentage of gold. But in all time it was not. But when King Hussein made the renovation, King of Jordan, made the renovation for the dome, he put a percentage from gold. So yes, we have a percentage of gold on it.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rizwan, and I would like to ask if the musalla that the Prophet ﷺ prayed on, is it still there?
The musalla that our Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam prayed in Masjid Al-Aqsa, is it still there?
When our Prophet ﷺ came, there was no buildings. It was the mountain itself. So he prayed on the mountain, okay? But we believe that because the Qibla, the first Qibla inside the Al-Aqsa Mosque was this area here, next to the Dome of the Rock, inside the Dome of the Rock. So we believe that our Prophet ﷺ, he prayed in this area. Which spot exactly, we does not know. So you need to know that none of these buildings exist in the time of our Prophet. It was the mountain itself. Just some of the walls around the place exist when our Prophet ﷺ came. Like the gate here, which we call it the Prophet Gate, that our Prophet entered from it. Okay?
How deep is the tunnels?
How deep is the tunnel? Which tunnel?
We do not know exactly, but at least 12 meters under the mosque.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Arzu. Are the levels in Masjid Al-Aqsa?
Different levels? What are you saying?
Are the levels in Masjid Al-Aqsa?
Is the different levels, ground levels?
Yes, we have different levels, like basements, which, for example, we have the Marwani. It's a big basement that people use it, especially for i'tikaf. We have another basement, we call it Old Aqsa, and another basement that we call it Al-Buraq Mosque. So we have many basements, and also we have the building on top of this basement, and after that, there is the stair which take you to the area of the Dome of the Rock. So we have a different level and a different building. So almost we have at least 3 levels inside the mosque.
Have tourists ever been killed?
Have tourists that visited Masjid Al-Aqsa, have they become victims of?
None of tourists had been killed inside Al-Aqsa Mosque.
You asked already, right? No.
You do not need to be afraid when you come to Al-Aqsa Mosque. Tourists are safe.
Is there any known point where Rasul led the Salah on Mi'raj?
Is there any point or mark?
Yes.
Our Prophet ﷺ did not give us in hadith exactly where the spot of Al-Isra or Al-Mi'raj, at the Mi'raj. So we believe it's from Al-Aqsa Mosque. Which spot exactly we does not know. But most of our scholars agree that it's in the highest point, which is now the place of the Dome of the Rock.
Last 3 questions come.
You
asked already. So please, let's give them a chance. Right?
Is Palestine communist?
Eh?
Communist. Is Palestine communist?
How you mean? Is it what?
Like
No, Palestine doesn't exist. Have you seen the map? Go and see the map of that area. Will you find Palestine? You'll find it in 1948. Okay. Last question, come.
How many musallas in Masjid Al-Aqsa?
How many musallas in Masjid Al-Aqsa?
As I told you, we have 300 buildings inside the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Some of it we use it for praying, some of it we use it for as an offices. Mainly we have 5 buildings that with a roof for praying, but the whole mosque is for praying. So even for Laylatul Qadr, Jum'ah, we pray inside our offices because it's part from the mosque itself. So the whole place is a mosque.
Okay, Jazakallah, Sister Abi, for sharing your afternoon with us. You guys are, after this session, we are closing now officially. You guys can meet with Sister and talk to her. We'd also like to thank Sister Uhud, who's the sister of Abi, that has accompanied her, inshallah. She normally doesn't get acknowledged, but playing a very important role. You're supporting your sister, inshallah. Jazakallah for attending. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum.
You want to talk to her? You can go and talk to her. Yeah.
The mic.